Hey guys, what's up? Yangundex here. If you're checking this out, you've probably seen on my channel that I've gotten Titan and all the other basic 6 Realm Reborn primals down solo. Um, and if you look out there, there's actually a lot of people who've gotten those down, but one thing that I've found is there aren't, as far as I could find, any videos on how to do it. Um, and a lot of people think it's a really daunting thing to solo a primal, but these days, it's it's not too bad. Uh, So, if you're looking to solo a primal, then this is for you. I have a recording here of a kill I just got on Titan just for this. I'm doing it as warrior. All of my solos I've only done as warrior, so it is what I'll be doing, and I'll be talking about some warrior-specific things. However, there are plenty of other classes out there that can solo these things. Any of the tanks can probably solo most of these. Scholar is a very good one. Summoner can handle some of them. It was the first one that I heard that killed Garuda. So, whatever class you have that you think can work, go for it. I will be talking about some warrior-specific things, so if those don't apply to you, I'm sorry, but warrior is probably, in my opinion, the strongest for this, and there are some neat little tricks that can help out. So let's get into it. Before I start it, though, I do want to explain that there are essentially 3 phases to Titan. If you look at a guide or something, I think they explain that there are 5 phases. The first 3 phases I'm all rolling into one. It might only be 2 on extreme, actually. But anyway, everything before the heart phase I'm calling phase 1. Heart phase itself will be phase 2. And then after heart phase will be phase 3. And for phase 1, there's very little to know. It's mostly the same as Titan Hard or Titan Normal, which that's not... Titan on Normal isn't exactly a joke, or Titan Hard, sorry. But when you get the pattern, he's not too bad. So I'll go ahead and hit play. One thing to note is that for phase 1, right here you can see I have 252 item level, so I'm not super geared, no echo. So if you have decent gear or you have echo, it goes up to 25%. You just need to be fighting Titan for 3 minutes before you die, and then next time that you fight him, if you happen to die after those 3 minutes and you fight him again, you'll have 5% echo. So if you aren't confident, it's okay to fight him for 3 minutes and jump off and farm up to 25% echo. But it's really not too bad. So right here, I'm just trying to push damage as best I can. There's no race right now, but there's also no real threat. Phase 1 is just pretty easy. So right here, I'm doing a triple cleave combo, just trying to push out damage. Nothing that he's done so far has been terribly worrying. Most of it is just exactly what you'd expect from Titan. At 85% here, he's just about to jump. I messed up my triple cleave, which is why he's still here, and he gets an extra rock slide on me, which actually hurts because it gives me an extra stack. But again, phase 1 isn't too dangerous. Right here, I'm just trying to throw in some healing real quick. Phase 1 isn't terribly dangerous, but Titan hurts at all phases. So you always have to be keeping your health up. The landslide attack he just did, I'm going to pause real quick. The landslide attack he just did, make sure you always have some distance from Titan to the edge so that you always have a corner to stand in. Normally, if you're fighting him, you want to bring him all the way to the edge. That's really bad when you're soloing because he normally spins around. When you're his only target, he's not spinning around, he's punching you. So you always want to give yourself space to move. I paused it here because the Gal is an extremely important mechanic. This is typically what kills people in fights because it is 13,000 to 15,000 damage that you cannot avoid, period. However, there are some really nice things about the Gal, one of which is it's about 15 seconds in which all your cooldowns come back. So right here, Equilibrium, Bloodbath, Berserk, all those things get 15 seconds off their cooldown while I just stand there. That's something to keep in mind. You want to be using your cooldowns not only for survival, but because the Gal will help you get them back. One other thing is you're seeing right here, I'm about to switch into Defiance. And I think I actually messed this up. But while you're in the Gal, you still regenerate health. And the more health you have, the more your maximum health, then the more you regenerate. So, as a warrior, I typically want to be in the gal in Defiance because I'll regenerate a little bit more health, like 25% more health or something. And in a long, long fight, that can make a difference. So see right here, I try to switch, I don't make it quite in time. That rock slide that he does just as you're going into the gal, that does not hit you in phase 1 or 2 that I've seen, but occasionally you might get unlucky enough that it hits you in phase 3. And that's a big deal because right here you see my stacks have dropped. I'm going to be taking a lot less damage now. If that rock slide hits you going into the gal, that refreshes. But this time it didn't, so it's not a big deal. Popping healing cooldowns. Again, we're just trying to push damage. We're just trying to get him to 55% is when phase 2 starts. For you warriors out there, you'll notice that I'm only using MAME combos for Storm's Eye and Storm's Path, because the aggro combo, while it does the most damage, it's a very slight increase in damage, and what I care about more is getting either the increased damage to him or reducing his damage to me. One more thing I'm going to pause real quick. You'll see right here, the bomb phase that just happened was this whole side over here was filled with bombs, and this side was completely clear. This is a sign. This is Titan saying, I'm about to put you in a gal in about 10 seconds. So at this point, I've popped Berserk, I'm about to use a Fell Cleave, and then I'm going straight into Defiance because I want to get that health regen. I'm basically planning for the gal, is what's happening right here. Right there, Cleave, Defiance, Rock Slide goes through me, and I'm at good health. I'm regenerating health. You'll see I'm at like 30,900 when I start, and I'm going up by about 350 per tick. That's one reason that Defiance is really nice, is I probably end up with about 500 more health at the end of this gal than I would in Deliverance. And considering you get galled 6-7 times, that's several thousand health. Small things like that can make a big difference. Right here, the only race that I've got in phase 1 is when he gets to 55%, he phase changes, so I just want to make sure that I get it at a time when he's not gowling me at like 56%, because that's a big burst of damage that if I pushed 1% more damage, I don't take. But phase 2, this is where the real fight begins. You'll see I'm going straight into Defiance, and I'm actually going to be playing pretty defensively here. This is because right after this, he throws you in a gal. It's very quick from the start of the heart phase. So if I had used Berserk, I didn't have it, but if I had started the phase with Berserk, I wouldn't even have time to use all of Berserk before he puts me in this gal. So that is why I played very defensively. I've got my stacks up. I've got my cooldowns up. These are important. You need your burst for heart phase. The reason being that you need to kill this heart, or you take 20,000 damage. Which doesn't necessarily kill you, but taking 20,000 damage that you didn't need to take is a big deal. So right here, had my stacks, applied slashing debuff, bloodbath, berserk. I'm going to town now. I need to kill this heart before he kills me. Big ol' AoE. Again, keep you in the middle so I have room to run to dodge those. The bombs that he's putting around the room, you'll see I get hit by those quite a bit actually. It's not good, but 3,000 damage is not insignificant, but also not my biggest concern when I'm fighting Titan by myself. So now we're in phase 3. So phase 3, the first thing that he does is summon 2 adds. These adds don't hurt a terrible lot. It's only about 600 to 700 damage they do. But they do one thing that's really annoying while they're alive, which is they landslide you. And when Titan's doing this, you don't need another landslide pointed at you, and you don't need to be taking 600 damage constantly. So kill the adds. You'll see right there I even use them for a Mercy Stroke to heal for 6,000. That's something you can do with any melee class, is use that to heal. And I highly recommend that. The other thing you'll see that they drop pools when they died. Those pools drastically slow you. They are horrible. If you stand in those pools and Titan landslides, you're dead. You're done. So you want to keep those to the side. You want to keep them close together so you're not mucking up the whole platform. and then you want to get out. Right here, I'm in the gal. I'm very low, and you'll see right there I actually almost die. I wanted to save Equilibrium for Berserk for maximum healing, but you have to stay alive. You have to do what you need to do to survive. So I'm low on health, so right now, even though I've got Berserk and I want to be pushing damage, you'll see I healed up as much as I could and then switched to Deliverance. Titan's a long fight, and you have to constantly be thinking about, how am I going to be healing for his next burst of damage? What am I going to do when he rock slides me in 10 seconds or so? It's something that's not immediately apparent when you're fighting him, but after you've given it a couple tries, or after you've fought him for 10 minutes straight, such as this fight, you start to really feel the patterns. And then when that happens, you need to constantly be thinking about, what do I do for what's coming up? So this is this right here is a mechanic that's unique to Phase 3. This is something that marks the end of one cycle. Titan has a hard cap in Phase 3 at 2 cycles. So if I see this set up again, he leaps in the air here, these bombs go off, and I can't avoid them, so I just use them to heal up and get some stacks. Actually, I spend my stacks to heal. And then he comes down. That is one cycle. If he does this again and he's not dead, he winds up a stomp that I will not be able to avoid, and I'll fall off and die. There's no getting around it. It is a hard cap. If you manage to survive that stomp somehow, because I have actually home ganged it, he stomps again. So there's a time limit, and that's why I'm constantly switching back into Deliverance to try to push damage. Is I don't want to hit that cap. I need to finish this before that second cycle. I said the ads came back. I finished them off pretty effectively. Health's doing well, and you'll notice that even though we're pretty early into the second cycle, he's at 20%. He started at 55, so I've already got him down about 2/3, and I have plenty of time left in this phase. So right now I know that I'm ahead on damage. I know that my health is looking pretty good. A lot of my big cooldowns are down, but I do have Equilibrium if I get low. I'm feeling pretty good. I know I just need to see this through. I've gotten pretty lucky with every time he's put me in a gal. He hasn't hit me with a rock slide. If he did, I'd have to play extremely defensively and probably stay in Deliverance a lot more. But right now things are going good. I'm just trying to finish him off at this point without doing anything too stupid. So here I see Berserk is coming up soon. I know I'm about to have a big burst of damage, so all I want to do is just get there. I just want to keep dancing around him. I want to not get knocked off. This is soul crushing to get knocked off here. I just want to stay alive. I use an inner beast because I know I'm going to finish him with this Berserk anyway. He's only alive about another 20 seconds. I just need to live. So right here, he's going to die as soon as I cleave him. I know that. We pop Berserk. 1 cleave. Infuriate. 2 cleave. Goodbye, Titan. And that's that. Yeah, not a terribly difficult fight. There's a lot of damage going out, so if you're playing a class that doesn't have a lot of healing, such as most DPS classes, or if you're playing a healer such as White Mage or Astrologian, you might not be able to push the damage and heal yourself. You need to be constantly balancing both, so whatever class you play, you need to have sustain and you need to be pushing damage. Didn't get a pony. It's okay, I've already got it. But that's it for Titan. Keep in mind the 3 phases. Keep in mind timing your cooldowns with the Gowl. And don't get knocked off. That's about it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope it helped. If you have any questions, let me know. And take care.